Welcome to BlueSync on this June 2nd, 2022. Thank you so much for joining us today. We are talking about two-factor authentication. That sounds like a super fun topic, doesn't it, you guys? Unfortunately, or fortunately, it's a necessary topic. So this will be going into effect for all of our Google email accounts next Wednesday. Now, Sharon, I see you sitting there in gorgeous beach office in St. Augustine. This will not affect your agents. We are migrating thepremierproperties.com first on Monday, and then we'll talk about two-factor. Anybody with CB Great Lakes, CB Schmidt Ohio, CB Paradise, CB Sunstar, Schmidt HQ, Schmidt Family Companies. I know I'm missing a few in there. That will affect all of those accounts. So let's jump in. Questions are welcomed. I've got my experts on the call that are much smarter than me, with Barb Herrick sitting in Florida and Paul sitting in the room next to me here at HQ. So if you have any questions, type them in the chat, unmute and ask, and we'll get to the end of this just like we did when we migrated the email 3 years ago. So life is all about change, right? It is beautiful, but it can be a little bit painful. So first, let's talk the why. Why are we doing this? It's all about security. We need to secure our data and our clients' data. Website, online, cloud, everything is being hacked at an incredible rate, actually. So we need to make sure that our data is secure for our clients and our agents and ourselves as well. So we do need to make sure that we can secure our accounts as much as we can, especially with as much data as we're saving in our drives. Financial data, social security numbers, credit cards, wiring instructions, all of that stuff is housed on our system. So we need to make sure that they are secure. Michelle, I will address that at the end, and if I don't, remind me for your question. So let's real quick get my Zoom box out of the way. So June 8th is the date. So if your agents or yourselves log in today, they will get the option to skip the two-factor. As of June 8th, they will no longer be able to skip it, and they will be locked out. We can unlock them to allow them to log in to be able to set it up, but we really want them to get this done prior to June 8th. So that is our date. They have the ability to set it up now. If they go to log in, the option is there, which I'll show you in a moment, or I can show you where in settings to get to turn on the two-factor. But they have from today until next Wednesday, June 8th, to do it before it's enforced. And they will be locked out of their accounts if they don't do it prior to June 8th. Now, Barb, Paul, myself, anybody that does agent onboarding, Michigan's RSCs, Ohio's ASCs, Florida onboarding specialists, we all have the ability to unlock the accounts for a 10-minute time frame to allow the agents to get in there so that they can set it up after the fact. But as you can imagine, with 1,200 accounts, we want to make sure that we're getting as many done prior to being locked out as we can. So do know that June 8th is the date. Notifications have gone out, but I would really appreciate your assistance in forwarding those to your agent base. Some of our agents have opted out of our constant contact. Some of them got suspended. So if you could re-forward that communication to them, talk about it in a sales meeting, encourage your managers to talk about it, post it in your break room, put it on your closed Facebook groups. If you could help us get that message out, we would really appreciate it, because as much as we've sent emails, they don't always compute. Sometimes they just get deleted by accident. We all get a ton of email. So try to get that communication out for us if you can. So if your agent has a forward, so they have an actual email account with us, CB Schmidt Ohio, but they forward it out to a Gmail, they also have to go through this step. They have to log out and log back in, or that forward will be broken. So even though they're on a forward and they never ever get into their email address, they do need to go in, set up two-factor so that their forward will continue to work. If they're on an external group, so if they were set up just as a group, there is no login. It's just a group email. So it's automatically forwarded to their Gmail, their Yahoo, their AOL, whatever it might be. They have no action. If you don't know for your agent if they're a group or a forward, but you know that they don't utilize the system, reach out. We can let you know, because if they are on that forward, they do need to do this. If they're in a group, they're good to go. So reach out if you're unaware, or have them reach out if they're not sure. The good tip is, if you go to gmail.com and put in that what their email address is and it says no account found, that means they're on a group, no action taken. So if you're not sure and you can't get us, you can try to log in as them. And if you're said no account found, that means they're on a group. So this is the email that went out, and thanks to Paul and Barb for getting this done. This is all the communication that has gone out, and here are our instructions. So this email was sent out again, I believe 2 days ago. It will go out again to notify the agents. We want to get that communication out, but this is, if you could print this and post this, put it in your closed Facebook groups, it would be awesome. So for the agent and managers, they can use their own personal cell phones, right? They absolutely have that opportunity. They can set it up with their cell phone to get the SMS text. They can use the Google two-factor app if they want to. You guys can if you want to, but we don't want to make the staff use their personal cell phone, so we have a separate set of instructions for you guys. I've lost my original. Here we go. So for the agent and manager, this is why it's different than the staff. So the staff instructions will show you how to use this along with your Ring Central app. So if you have the Ring Central desktop app, you can absolutely use that office phone number in order to get your two-factor code. Now, the good thing is if you stay signed into email, you don't have to do this every single time. If you log out of your email, if you close your browser, restart a new browser, go to a different system, access it somewhere else, you will have to get your two-factor code. If you stay logged in on your system, you do not have to do this every single time. It's not like our account tech where every single time you have to go through this. This is a little bit different. But that's why there are two sets of instructions. Now, the third set of instructions is highly encouraged, but not necessary in order to set up two-factor. And that's right here about backing up your Chrome. So if you're like me, you have 4,572 different passwords, and you don't remember a single one of them because you have them saved into your Google browser. If you are like that, if you are like me, you will want to back up your passwords and your bookmarks prior to doing this, just in case setting up two-factor wipes that out. It shouldn't. It should work seamlessly, but why take that chance? Why go through the painful process of resetting passwords? So if you would like to, if you are a Google Chrome browser user, you'll want to go through this set of instructions first, just to back up your data, your bookmarks, and your passwords first, and then go ahead and jump into the two-factor staff guide. Now, if you operate more than one email address, if you have a first name last name at CB Schmidt, Ohio, and you have a Strongsville at CB Schmidt, Ohio, and they're two separate accounts, not an alias, you have to do it on both accounts. So if you're operating with more than one email and you're not sure if it's an alias or an account or a forward or what it might be, just reach out and we can help you through that. But if you're operating more than one email, that can occur. Now, Barb already has it covered down there in Paradise because you guys do have those shared email inboxes. Barb's going to be handling that. So if you're a user of one of those shared inboxes, reach out to Barb. She can help you with that information. To answer Michelle's question, if an agent doesn't want to set it up, they'll be locked out. They won't get any email. They do have to set this up if they're operating an account. And like we said, if they're on a group, no action needed. If they're in an account but forward out, they still have to set this up. So because of our Moxie accounts syncing with these email addresses, a lot of our agents do have accounts, but they forward them out. We do want to make sure that they're doing this step so that they don't lose that forward. So they will have to do this. Unfortunately, we are enforcing this for all agents and staff. So,
and I would, just to be me for a sec, Carrie.
Yeah.
I would even leave out that unfortunately, because we're doing this for security reasons, because the number of times we've had agents come to us with concerns about, it was my email hacked, it was my Facebook hacked, it was this hacked. This is how you prevent that from happening. An agent's going to complain about it because they have to have a password whenever they sign in on new devices. And then if they don't do it and their stuff gets hacked, they're mad at us too.
Right.
This is for their sake, to make sure that their client's information is protected, that their sensitive emails are protected, and that if someone does try to come in with malicious intent, there's a whole extra layer of security there. So sorry, it's a horse that I get on. I understand that it's a pain to set up a two-factor. We're not just doing this to mess with our agents. We're doing this for all of our sakes to make sure things are protected.
Yes, thank you very much for that, JD.
And rant, sorry.
No, I appreciate that. It is absolutely for their safety and security and their clients as well. And by the way, Malicious Intent is a fantastic name for a band. So somebody out there that has musical talent, I don't. JD does, I don't. Malicious Intent. It sounds like a fantastic band name. Okay.
You can be my new punk band.
There you go. Back to the topic at hand. Another point that we get a lot with the agents is we all have more than one Gmail account, right? We have a personal one. We've had one since we were 18. We have a new one. We have our work one. We maybe have two work ones or three. So a lot of the agents will get confused if they log out. They think they can't log into a new account. Right here is your tip. Use another account. When you click on use another account, it will let you sign in using any email address you want to. So I have an example email address here of what you'll see if you log out today in your email. When you log back in, it's going to ask you about the two factors. So you put in your email address, click next, put in your password, click next. This box shows up. This is the same box that's referenced in the instructions. This is setting up. This option to do this later is going to be here up into midnight on June 7th. So on June 8th, when you wake up to try to log in, you will be locked out of your systems. Your agents will be locked out of your systems. You can skip it from now until then, but we really want to get these set up. So what you want to do is click enroll. It's going to make you put your password in again, security. And when you type it wrong, oh, it flipped my account. See that? It went back to here. So we need to go back into here. And I may need to launch an incognito window if it's going to keep confusing. There we go. So this is the screen that you'll see. Super simple, right? Not simple to say, but simple to do. Type in your cell phone number. Do you want a text? Do you want a phone call? Now here is where if you're using the RingCentral app and you do receive text, you can choose text. If you'd rather just get a phone call and you get that robot voice that says your code is 36794, you can choose a phone call. So for show more options, you have the opportunity to do a security key or a Google prompt. We do not recommend the security key because we do not have those devices on hand and we do not have plans of purchasing them. If you're willing to use your cell phone and you want to use your cell phone and you're a Google user and you have your work account on your cell phone, this is a good option for the agents as well. You can choose Google prompt, but the easiest, simplest way, because who doesn't always have their cell phone on them, is to choose text message. Click next. You will get a text on your handy dandy phone. And it says it worked. And then you click turn on and you're all set. Now you can do things like backup codes and Google prompts, the Authenticator app, and that security key that we just talked about. There are other options on here in order to get codes. But again, the simplest way is that text. And then from here, and Paul, I may be missing something, but I believe from here you're all set and you just go to your Waffle.
Yeah, from here you're all set. You can just go right back into your email.
And then go to Gmail. Now the other option, if you're not getting that prompt, is to, let me open an incognito window so I don't confuse my system any more than it already is to go into your settings. So if you're logged in and you don't want to go through the process of logging out, if you're already logged in, you can do this today by going into your account settings. So again, you put in your email address, click next, put in your password. From here, you want to go into your Waffle, again, here, and go to your account. This is your Gmail, your Google account. From over here, you want to go to security. And down here where it says two-step verification, you can click on there. Click get started. And again, same process. Cell phone number, choose text or phone, recommend text for the agents. Whoop. Put in your code and see how it comes through just that quick. There's no waiting. It's automatic. It's there before I came and pick up and drop and then pick up my cell phone again. Turn on and then you're all set. You can go into your email. So those are the two options. Again, if you log out, it'll give you that option to automatically do it. The other option is to go into your account settings in your Waffle account and security and turn it on from there. So again, we have from now until next Wednesday to get this set up. Again, keep in mind if you're operating multiple accounts, you do need to do this for more than one account. You guys all know those agents that struggle a little bit with technology, so please reach out to them. Please set up appointments if you can. Have them come in, have them bring their laptop, their cell phone, their iPads, however they get to their email, and help them set this up. Because once you get it set up, it will log you out of your other accounts if you're logged in on mobile or an iPad or whatnot. and you'll have to go through that process. Again, you go through the two-factor once, and as long as you stay logged in, you don't have to do it every single time. If I was to go log into an office computer, I would have to do the two-factor. So it's not every single time, but it is if you're logged out to get back in. So what questions do you guys have for me? An agent asked if they have to do this on every device they have logged in. So you set it up one time, and we recommend setting it up on a PC or a laptop or a Mac. You set it up there, and then when you log into your secondary device, you will have to go through the two-factor process by getting the code, but the setup is one time because you're setting it up on your actual account. To log into that same account on a different device after you've set it up, you will have to get the code the first time, but then again, if you stay logged in, you won't. But the actual setup of it, putting in your cell phone number, clicking the prompts, that's a one-time thing on one device, which we recommend doing on your computer because it's easiest. Good question, Patty. Let me go back to my date so it's on the screen, readily available. Good. What other questions? Going through my standard 8 count. So let's talk two-factor just real quick in general. I know we're a little long, but I'll talk fast. I usually do. We all know that Duo Mobile went into effect for our staff members at Access Citrix last week. Sorry about the hiccups. There were a few hiccups. We do have the password updated. We're on our 06 standard for Schmidt, Schmidt FL, Schmidt OH, and Schmidt MI. So that's all been set. Next month, it should be smooth sailing. If you guys are having any problems with Duo Mobile, just reach out. We did have a few hiccups. They had it as a landline, but it was a cell phone or vice versa. So there have been a few hiccups, but don't hesitate to reach out. You guys have to be able to access it to do your job. Starting yesterday was when Coldwell Banker, Century 21, all of the Realogy products went to two-factor. Again, that's a one-time setup. So if you go to log into My CB Desk, CBC Desk, on the staff side, if you're getting into Dash, the first time it will make you put in that number in order to get a code. Again, it's a one-time thing. As long as you stay logged in on your browser, you don't have to do it every single time. The good news there on that product is that every 90-day password reset protocol that they had prior has gone away. So putting that two-factor in for those products has made that 90-day protocol go away, which is good news. And then again, next Wednesday, the 8th, is when all of our Google accounts will have two-factor. And to JD's point, it is for security of our data and for the security of our clients' data as well. And Judy, yes, so that is 06 now for Account Tech. That was updated late yesterday. So as you log in this morning, it will be our standard June password. Good question. Again, number one tip there on Duo Mobile, if you don't see your name in the dropdown, most likely your first login was just done by Schmidt. It's muscle memory. We all do it. So if you're in Florida, Schmidt FL. If you're in or USVI, if you're in USVI, it's also Schmidt FL. Or if you're in Ohio, Schmidt OH, and if you're in Michigan, Schmidt MI. So first trick is if you drop that down, your name's not there, try going back and logging in under the other one. Unfortunately, they're not in alphabetical order or any order that makes any sense other than the newest person in goes at the very bottom. So sorry about that. It's super annoying. We have no control of it. We're annoying Account Tech as much as we can to have them update it, but we haven't gotten anywhere with that yet. I don't see any other questions. So again, reach out, have your agents reach out, call the ones you know that might need a little extra love, set up an appointment with them to have them come in and bring their stuff, and let's get all this done and secure together. As always, appreciate you guys so much. You have an amazing team with Paul and Barb and JD and everybody on the tech training team, all of your RSCs. You guys are amazing as ASCs, and I appreciate everything you do. Thanks so much. Have a great rest of your day. Bye now.